Hey guys, it's Mulligan, and welcome to episode 5 of Eternal Errors, a series where I analyze my misplays so you can hopefully learn from my mistakes and make the correct plays. This week we're mixing it up with some control, namely the Felnscar variety. Anyway, first I want to say that I am not the best control player out there, but I hope I can still do this archetype some justice. For these clips, I'm playing a Feln Control brew that I was messing with for a bit, as well as a Felnscar Control list featuring Charchain, Flail, and Smuggler Stash. All credit for that list goes to VSarius. Let's jump right in. This first game we're looking at is against Ledgem, who's on Haunting Scream, and I'm on VSarius' Felnscar Control deck. Plays a Direwood Beastcaller, and I snap played this Vara's Favor to get rid of the Beastcaller immediately. Now, that looked good, but I probably should have waited by doing nothing and using Annihilate on the Beastcaller during Ledgem's second combat phase here, because the Haunting Scream comes out and I don't have the answer to the Beastcaller, and Ledgem gets the two 5/5s in play anyway. Had I waited, I would have been able to Annihilate the 1/1, send it into the void. This turn, play Steward of the Past so I could silence the Direwood Beastcaller and there would be no 5/5s that I would have to deal with. I know that in general, as a control player, you want to use your quote-unquote worst answer in your hand first and save your better answers for better cards later on. But I think this is a good lesson in just assessing the situation, what's in your hand, and more importantly, what are the possible other future cards that your opponent could play that you could try to play around. I generally didn't play this game very well at all. Things like not using Wisdom of the Elders to try to keep my Staff of Stories alive by trying to find Annihilate so I could kill the Steward of the Past, and I did end up drawing it. And then on the final turn, I could have used Vara's Favor and Deathstrike on the flying Borderlands Waykeeper, Charchain Flail the unbuffed Waykeeper, and leave Statuary Maiden back to block the Spymaster, but I end up using Deathstrike on the Spymaster. I Vara's Favor the face, so I could Charchain Flail the flying Waykeeper and stay alive at 1, completely forgetting that my opponent would have power on their turn to give the other Waykeeper flying to kill me. So it's just a bad sequencing on my part. I'm probably going to butcher this, but this next game is against either Indie back-to-back or for Indie back-to-back, who's on Stonescar Burn. I go ahead and equip the Charchain Flail here, and then I go ahead and swing with it before playing power. Now, this turned out to be a mistake because I was dead to Torch either way, which my opponent had, but I need to play power so that way I could at the very least play around something like Cabal Countess, ambushing in to try to kill my weapon. Equipping the Flail was not incorrect because I needed to get pressure going to try and win the game somehow, but I need to play power in order to be able to use Torch on the possible Cabal Countess. So it's good to make sure to give the opponent as few outs as possible, even though the game was pretty much lost anyway. Also, that was good BM by my opponent, 10 out of 10. Finally, we've got a bit of an older game against Apple Chips, who's on TJP mid-range, and I'm playing Feln Control. This False Prince comes down, and I get hit for 6 here. And on this turn, I hold up the Deathstrike and pass it back to my opponent. But interestingly here, I let the False Prince hit me again when I could have easily Deathstriked it, and the reason why I did that was because I was anticipating a bigger threat like a Sandstorm Titan, but I don't end up getting it, so I Deathstrike the False Prince at the end of turn, so that way I could stray away Apple Chips' board. The reason why I wanted to highlight this is because I really wanted to see what you guys would have done in this type of situation. Just let me know in the comments below. I know that in general when playing Feln Control, you need to use your life total as a resource and not be afraid to do so because you will take hits. but it's tough because you're basically walking a tightrope and you don't even know where that line is and how much damage you can really afford to take sometimes. But it's unfortunate because I get into a situation where instead of being at 6 life, I am at 1 life, and the Steward of the Past is not enough to save me, unfortunately, because they're still going to be lethal on the board, where I could have given myself at least 1 more turn or more had I been at 6 life. At the end of the day, it turned out that it didn't matter because Apple Chips had the permafrost in hand to freeze my Steward of the Past, but I still think at least giving myself 1 more turn would have been good. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys would have done. That's it for this episode of Eternal Errors. Thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like if you liked the video. And if you guys would have handled any of those situations differently, let me know in the comment section below. And feedback is also appreciated too. If you have any ideas for what you want to see in this series, or if you think there is something I can do to improve my content, let me know that in the comment section below as well. And I want to thank everyone that is already doing so. I greatly appreciate it. Again, thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.